Hello. How's it going?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, all good. Can
Oh,
you hear
good.
me?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
Sweet.
All right. Uh, so, gosh, I haven't had a chance to play against you in a while.
This deck does. I have an idea. It's been a while since I played it. Oh, hold on, maybe.
All right. So,
Okay.
yeah, I just threw this Saria together real
Hmm.
fast this morning.
Yeah, the dice are interesting.
Yeah, just sort of a curiosity, but Remy is neat. I mean that looks like you're doing Canyon Shelter Ancestral Army stuff.
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
getting a lot of work from those recently.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I think I just start with that. Okay, let's see if that works. Um,
Okay. Uh, sure, you can go first, I guess.
Let's start with shelter and reinforce.
Okay. That was unexpected.
Cool. Lightbringer and have a peek at yonder.
Now,
Okay.
I guess Raven actually looks pretty decent against an Ancestral Army.
It
They,
does much.
yeah, they're a 1-2, aren't they?
They are, yes.
Yeah.
Very edible. Cool, I skipped.
Yeah, I know. This is where where it starts to get sort of interesting.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
Ash Spirits. Um,
Downside is you play Recollect, which I imagine you do.
yeah, I was.
Just to make sure if you have them in hand. It's a shame if you don't have them in hand, then you can try and hide them. Let's see. Shadowhound. Okay. Yes. Um, Direction. Look at my deck. Okay. Hello. And let's have a look.
Man, this would be so much better if I hadn't had to meditate early on. All right. Yeah, so. Actually, yeah. Yeah, that is indeed a shadow hound. So I guess I'll just make some stuff that you really don't want to attack into.
Although, if I'm not mistaken, the aspirate can't kill the hand.
That is probably correct because you don't become. You can't be
Targetable
targeted
for that.
by.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It is targeted. Yes. So
Yeah.
you are safe from. You are safe from sheep.
Hmm.
So if you want to commit Shadowhounds into an Ash Spirit and open yourself up to getting Raven, that is a bit of a questionable decision otherwise. Yes, I will counter. All right. Okay. I suppose this is fine. Not sure if that was correct.
Sure. We'll see.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Focus the shadow hands.
All right. Sure.
Breathing.
All right.
So when we're setting.
All right.
Now, let's see.
Is this a deck you've been working on for a while?
I've been working on a few variations of this for a while.
Yep.
What's the best way to manage this?
Yeah, I think Canyon Shelter is a pretty neat card, and
Yeah.
I am seeing that it does have some nice synergy with the Shadowhound there. I guess it's kind of good to see an application of the Hound somewhere outside of Hope.
Yeah. Not sure how good it. Then I could have just left that hand in play. It's more that it stops them getting killed, so you can carry them over the next round a bit easier.
Yeah, that is like the big issue with the Hound is like
Yeah.
they're great until they become exhausted, then they're just so easy to just
Yeah.
get rid of.
Clarity, get back fade. And I'm going to look at the top of my deck because I forgot what I put on there.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, let's do. Interesting. Let's meditate. Just this is meditate. So fade on the archer.
Okay. Now I have to do something.
Risking clarity. That's true.
All right.
So the Or um, meditate away outer image. That's another light movie.
Sure. I guess we'll do that.
Bad bird.
Okay. All right.
It's raven. Subductional gates.
All right.
Interesting. Pexy Griffin.
I guess. Yeah, that's fine.
And yeah. Okay. Griffin again. And that's you.
Poke.
That. Let's reinforce. Shepherd. And chance to come to the close and open the pocket. Side action, unofficiated, nothing. Good. By that I mean I don't have much missing. Let's have a look if you look first, make sure there's nothing too messy coming up. Okay. And
Okay.
and
That is most unfortunate.
to the peak. And okay.
All right.
That was a blunder. I got to remember I'm playing against Sarah.
Yeah.
A little hook is significant.
a lot of damage over there.
Sure. Yeah, it's not the greatest timing than doing, unfortunately. Attack for elite. So peek out.
All right.
And peek in Reddick.
Oh, right. Oh, that's nice that you can actually see what's under the canyon shelter if you mouse over it.
Yeah, that's
in case
something
you
they've changed, which
happen to
does
forget.
definitely helps. Do I think it's going to come down? Anyway. I'm going to make some damage.
Well, ouch.
No. Should have focus and here we go. And shoot everything.
All right. Well. Suppose this.
Oof. Nice timing. Forgot my tears can be played for one.
I think that's the first time I've done the overcosted Nature's Wrath.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I should have walked back in. Still, try the griffin. Fade away into hand. And pick out my luckily. You go first next round. I fade on the clock. And here we go. Interesting.
I think it's probably better than a raven in this position.
Yeah. That still gives me value, so I'm going to do it. actually. What's that? Ever so sad looking ash. And let's just go deck again. Okay. Pick at 9. What do we want? All that. No.
All right. Well.
The rolls are pretty sucky.
Yeah, I'm just noticing that my rolls are kind of horrendous this game.
Yeah. Do you want to fix a couple of dice up to class? So 3 basics, you've got 7, maybe. Yeah, fix 4 of them up.
Well, the first thing I suppose I have to do is make a unit.
Bridge.
And
Touch with that. Okay. Market and auction.
Yeah, I think we do that.
And meditate. That's it. Yes, thank you, Griffin. Under the 90. Okay. I'll go for this next round. This would be a nice round to come out. And
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Asteroid doesn't sound alright. Hand. I think I should be able to guess that just looking actually. Hmm.
I have to say, I'm really surprised we haven't seen a Realm Walker yet.
As in you're playing one.
No, no. Just you have the dice for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how useful they would be in
Yeah,
this.
the Remia doesn't seem like she'd really be able to leverage them.
Maybe a single realm walker I could pull it out with a reinforce and then hide it under a shelter if I want to keep it from
Yeah.
dying. Maybe. I think realm walker is one of those cards which I haven't played with that much. I know it's strong, but the decks I've been building, yeah, I guess I have to try adding one or two in to start with and see if it makes them better.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste that. I don't want to. Okay, let's do that. If I get back ancestral, what to do?
Mm-hmm.
Ancestral. finding the one under the shelter. Right.
Oh, well,
Okay.
all right. I guess I.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, that would be cool. I shift and missed. And it. Okay.
Okay.
Take me down. Move my last card. And have a peek at your.
Well, I think if I get 2 shadows, so be it.
Sorry, I just put me into the fatigue. But which is a bit annoying. Nope. Looking about some damage. And I sent it. Got a polarity, a light ringer, and an ancestral under there. That's nice. Let's go for a shepherd. Let's go back a Shadowbound. And yeah, okay, we are left. That's really good. To one.
Let's not counter this time.
Hmm. Gates. Yes. And, so the tempo sequence is enough to break through now.
Yeah.
Should we have another meter front in the right?
I think I could actually probably just do this. Right. Are there another 6 line harmony? It's not very tricky.
Try to take them down below the critical threshold for the shadow bond. It might be a mistake. Let's see. Ooh, that I didn't expect. Okay. I need you, faithful light brother. Come back.
Oh, all right. Oh, good game.
Good game. Very close.
Yeah. And those orchid doves were really frustrating.
Yeah. Did you play any Recollects? I wasn't sure.
I do. I have one.
Yeah. I guess it was just a while before we got them though.
Yeah. All right.
Everything okay?
Oh, am I disconnected here?
It just says must attack if able, must attack if able.
I thought I did. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the Raven was doing a very good job stopping my Ancestrals coming online. At least the Shadow Hounds were getting value. And fadeaways were killing the annoying archers and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a realm walker or two might be a nasty little surprise to pull in and put extra pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest cause against a Realm Walker would be the 4 battlefield, but because you're using Canyon Shelter, it's not really that much of an issue.
Yeah, just because I usually end up, if the shelter comes online properly, then I'm usually quite dice up on my opponent. They usually run out of dice before I do, and that would be a perfect time just to down a Realm Walker and then swing in and punish them.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the combination of a Realm Walker and a Lightbringer is it really diminishes the advantage of higher battlefield pretty quickly.
Why is that?
Well, just because I mean, the Realm Walker neutralizes a defender, and then you have the Lightbringer to force an exhaustion somewhere else. So, the fact that
like they quickly exhaust other units.
Yep.
I think it's quite nasty against the mini ones, but I think the mini battlefields tend to play more self-clear anyway.
Yep.
So if you do exhaust them, it's like, okay, kill them, bring stuff on. But it's maybe the 5s and the 6s. You don't play as much.
Yeah.
And then 7s, 8s, and 9s is like, why would they ever need self-clear?
Yeah, I think, although I suspect things change pretty dramatically with the next set because of the Snapper book.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I think that having the self-clear just on demand is something that the game has not had for a while, at least not so efficiently. I mean, there was like Chant of Sacrifice or something like that, but I think you have to be really committed to wanting to self-clear if you're running that card.
I've got a few decks that use it, but it's all dependent on how much value you gain from the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And most decks don't gain that much from the sacrifice; they just gain the self-clear.
Yeah.
But then some decks just so tight on battlefield space, they just need the self-clear as a priority. And, that can be quite nice for Chant.
The Snapper book. I mean, I'm actually like considering doing things with Jessa for like the first time ever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just because that I think that really diminishes how you can get kind of clogged up so fast.
That's cool.
I mean, and let alone the fact that it's it's a 2/1 that is resistant to ping for 1 die.
Are there any other new cards you like particularly? The look of.
Apart from the Snapper, I think the real standout for Rowan's deck for me is Excavate. That's it's a removal spell that you don't feel too bad about first 5ing, and if you're running a deck that wants to focus up books or ready spells in general really fast, it can let you, maybe sort of just get lucky round 1 and get away with something that you normally wouldn't be able to. In addition to neutralizing a Realm Walker or a Bear.
I'd to see if it's like a 1 or maybe a 2 off and never a 3 off. I don't know what decks would.
Yeah, I've got like a Hope Creeper iteration that runs 2 of them. But yeah, I think even if you're running multiple spells that you want to focus up, I think 3 is just kind of excessive. So the Excavate. And then I am a fan of just Tristan overall, and the was it the Prism Tetra? I really for like the ultimate sort of go fast, go wide, aggressive deck, I think that's probably where things are going to end up. Um, it's not so great against anybody who's like Law of Fear, but otherwise, I think it's a lot of fun. Um, so yeah, I am excited for the little fish, and then the crab just sort of really being a status token and enabler. I don't think anybody's really fully explored or grasped the full implications of just what having two status tokens on demand does for a lot of
Mm.
decks.
Yeah, it's a solid body as well, and
Yeah,
the fact it has just churns out these status tokens is nice.
yeah. I mean, I don't. I think a lot of people are saying it's strictly better than bear, but I'm not completely sold on that. I think I'd go so far as to say that the ceiling on the crab is probably higher than the bear, but the bear is just um, it's just a very consistent, reliable body that is
Mm.
not too expensive, and there are some matches where the bypass is quite good. But I
I mean, I've still got the scars from the long period of time where bears were extremely dominant. It's nice that they've
yeah
taken a bit of a backseat, but they
yeah
still can be good.
yeah I think that I don't think they'll ever really lose their place in the meta, but it is nice to see more variety, and
Yeah.
I think probably now for like the first time in a long time, I'm considering decks that include nature but don't include a bear book, even as a flex option.
Mm.
Although still, that might probably be wrong. um,
Yeah. That would be one of my go-to things when it came to trying to crack through like
the
mill
dove
defenses with
walls.
some decks. But then it's like it'd be nice if there was more than one way of doing that. Maybe we're starting to explore like cheeky little secret door, explosive growth, accelerate combos and
Yep.
stuff. Other ways to sort of break through.
Yeah.
Have you played much mill? I don't know if you tend to be more mill or aggro.
Um, in 1.0, like mill mill swing decks were like my favorite thing, and then
Hmm.
I did that in 1.5, and then a 3 hour Herald match, mirror match later, I kind of got put off of the mill plan, and it's still decks that I like to do. I mean, I
Hmm.
predominantly like go wide swing decks um,
Yeah.
with like a mill component, but I just been finding that they've been really too grindy and not inconsistent. So I've switched more to um, very burn forward decks that still put out cheap, efficient units and swing wide, but it's been more sort of an aggro burn. Just because I've played a few too many seasons of Shuffle Bus that have degenerated into very long, grindy games that end up going to sudden death, and
Hmm.
I'd like to shy away from that.
I've been doing a lot of Ramir stuff recently just because that's where I don't know, just this canyon shelter thing has had a few interesting little spin-offs,
Hey,
different directions.
I mean the yeah, Ancestral Army is just such an amazing card. It's just the fact that it's tied to 4 battlefield. Um, Probably the only reason that you don't see more Remia. I mean, if her stats were different, if she had like a 6 or 7 battlefield, I think I would probably play her a whole lot. Um, um, but yeah, and also, I mean, yeah, I think that sort of circling back to the the options that Snapper brings in, I could see a deck that is very sort of um, ancestral army forward and just is constantly spamming them um, between probably Snapper and then Canyon Shelters or other
Mm.
ways to get them back and get their interplay effect to go off again.
Yeah, I mean, Crab and Omen Ring is just a very solid little sort of 2-3 bodies. You got two bodies, and then you can be farming away at Salamander Monks or something else just to fill
Yeah,
up the dice slot. Sure, I've got a silly deck which tries to do just Canyon Shelter shenanigans with Omen Ringers, but I don't think I've had the time to try and make it do anything particularly exciting yet. But
Yep.
that's the dream anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Canyon Shelter, the fact that it can pick up conjurations, probably what makes it really interesting.
Yeah, and
I think that's
this,
I think that's the only way for a conjuration to be anywhere other than um, on the battlefield or in your conjuration deck.
yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, Blink can do weird things
Oh yeah, I guess it. Oh, I
as well.
suppose
But I
yeah, it
think
could be
that's about the only other
purged as
one.
well, but
Yeah, can you purge a conjuration?
uh, no, no, that's actually something
No.
that's not in the game anymore. So
Yeah, this deck has got quite a few come into play effects that trigger from Canyon Shelter. So if I
yeah,
can't get my lovely army combo going, at least I can be recurring polarities or shepherds or something. Lightbringers as well. It's a nice double act.
yeah, I really do respect the combination of the ability to recur a polarity mage and fadeaways.
Hmm.
It makes any of like the knights or other like big value allies just so risky to play.
Yeah, if you have like 20 life with Ramir, then you can afford to soak maybe a three damage hit and stick a Vade away on it. Keeps it nice and tight.
Yep.
Worst case scenario is they're playing Sambali and they're doing lots of unexhausted, and that's the worst.
Yeah.
But at least you can try and take out one swing unit.
Mm-hmm.
Reinforce has been very good. Very
yeah,
impressed by it.
I am. Yeah, I think if you're a deck that if you've got the spellword space and if you could manage the effective book tax of it round one, having a diceless main action for the rest of the game is quite pleasing.
Yeah, that is definitely useful. Also, the flexibility it gives you. You pay your one dice to reinforce, and that's like, do I need to fade away this round? Do I need a stasis? Do I need a raptor? Do I need a blah? It's like you can. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of luck, but like if you're playing gates, you get double dip. It's like very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling out all your responses that you need in the nick of time.
Yeah.
And also, even if you have got like a low spell board count, if you're playing like an ally based deck anyway, it's like it becomes effectively like a summon book.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I can definitely see application for it. I think I I tend to prefer I mean conjurations a little bit more. I mean I like the reliability and
Yeah.
I also I tend to gravitate towards books and things that you would want to run multiple copies of and focus up. Um, there just unfortunately have been a lot of really fantastic options lately. Um, I kind of remember the early days of 1.0 when there were some decks that were running 3 Frostback Bear books, and then we quickly realized like in what world are you ever spending 6 dice to summon 3 bears in a round?
Yeah.
So I would like to see more of the one cost books that deliver efficient conjurations. Like I was very optimistic about Shadow Fox, but
Yeah.
it's just having a book that has a book tax and that you want to play multiple copies of. I think it just needs to be better than what Shadow Fox offers.
Yeah, maybe you're right. My biggest problem has been finding decks where I think it would shine. Like the one I've found so far is because it's basically kind of doing a bit of dice fixing as well. So it's a bit of like
the dice
removal
fixing,
and
yeah,
dice fixing.
the dice fixing part is actually what attracts me most to it, and then
Yeah.
the side action summon. It it's so tough because it almost feels like you're paying the book tax on the speculation that you're gonna get it focused up.
Yeah.
So, because yeah, once you're able to do a side action summon into an immediate unit that attacks for 3 and fixes a die, that's quite excellent. But in the interim where they're just not focused, they're very underwhelming.
The 3 damage from hitting an exhausted unit isn't good enough.
Um,
Was it that they're easy to kill?
yeah, they're quite easy to kill because they um, the side action into the side action summon to immediate attack I think is where they are strongest.
Yeah, I guess Rin could do something like summon it as a main and then stick a buff on it, make it a
Yeah.
1/2.
Yeah.
Then you have effectively a 3/2 off things. Yeah, interesting. It's such a cute picture as well. It's like it'd be nice to get more of them in play.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. The book tax is tricky.
Yeah. Yeah. The book tax that you have to pay conceivably 3 times. It's just.
Yeah, if you don't do the, I could see maybe doing it twice or just pumping out loads of gates versions just to keep doing it. Maybe if Fiona could do something with that, gives her a very versatile little cheap unit that she can summon.
Yeah.
Guard summon an extra one, help clear up the board, keep control of big units.
And it's not even that it's that difficult because I mean, once you get it focused up, the effect quickly swings the other way. It's when they come online late in the game and you've already summoned, maybe 2 or even possibly 3 of them, without it being focused. That you're in round 4 and you're like, do I really want to pay a book tax now?
I think the aggressive meta we're in at the moment is probably not helping foxes. I think they're definitely not great in an aggressive meta. So
No,
I don't know. When people get better at slowing things down, the meta slows down a bit more, then I think it might be different.
Yeah. Although I don't foresee the meta slowing down under its own power with the new stuff. I think if it does slow down, I think it will probably be more a byproduct of people wanting to be a little more exploratory and experimental. But I think if you were just about building the fastest, most straightforward, efficient kind of deck, I think we still have a very fast meta with the new stuff. Admittedly, this could change with the 6 unknown cards, but I don't particularly see that occurring.
Do you think people have had a chance to actually learn how to slow a meta down? Like people think it's going faster and faster, but I think there are builds out there which can put on the roadblocks.
Yeah, something like this Saria list. I think it really, in a lot of cases, it is as simple as Sunshield Sentry with a Golden Veil, and
yeah,
that is a massive roadblock that is going to stop a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's one. I've heard that one. It sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Are there any other sort of major? I think a lot of the time the game comes down to these sort of stable configurations. So a stable configuration for a defensive deck would be something like Sunshield, Golden Veil. If you have that in your deck, then you can hold the ground against a lot of these aggressive decks.
Yep.
Are there other kinds of opening configurations that can do a similar job, or is it basically you have to play those dice types?
It is, unfortunately. You really are forced into the Charm Divine Time setup, which is not bad. I mean, that puts you in, Cloudburst Griffin, Crystal Archer, so you're able to do sort of a deck that can do the swing mill thing. If you're so inclined, you can do Ash Spirit as well.
I think illusion gates openings can do stuff. If you can.
Yeah, there is just
Mystigate.
the counter aggression of just running your own Huntmaster Raptor Herder.
Yeah.
That might not necessarily be your plan A, but it's a thing that you could do with your deck. And if you happen to see
sense.
Brennan on the other side and are worried about getting rushed down, you can start that.
Interesting. That's why I've been seeing more of those cards appearing in other decks, not Brennan, because people have to play them to stop Brennan. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that doing the Sunshield, Golden Veil, and just sturdy alert knights that are backed up by negation is one answer, and then doing your own counter swarm is something else. I'm trying to think if there are any any dice types or combinations that just don't have an answer like anywhere.
They, yeah, that's what I'm intrigued by, because you kind of limits the deck building space for
Yeah.
viability in a competitive sense.
There have been some Gates decks that I really like. It was based around like Ruby Cobra and Shadow Spirits, and then it had like sort of
Yeah.
a spin down element, and it was also going to start Gates, but it just doesn't have anything to really throw out some efficient blockers quickly. So, I mean, if someone wants to do the Widow's Rush, you're going to take a lot of damage up front and then probably not be able to really stabilize. So I think
Yeah.
that like Charm and Illusion, um, they need to go into a third color to have the ability to really kind of deal with a faster deck.
Hmm. I've done like Misspirit Span before, but it's like against a like second turn Widow's attack or something. You need something like a Safeguard as an insurance policy.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't imagine
Chain
anybody feels
upgrades.
happy about first fiving a safeguard.
Yeah, I was wondering, because like if you Safeguard, if you like would first five a Raptor, that's performing a similar role. It's not great if you find it dead, but I think some Phoenix Pawn can like double tap. Like Fiona, for example, can start with a Safeguard,
Yeah,
and she doesn't use it. She doesn't need it. She goes first, then she can double tap the Mist Spirits, for example. There are a few things I think Illusion could do. Um, but yeah, this is the kind of thing I mean. It's like if you don't have access to a viable solution, then you're going to be in trouble.
yeah,
But yeah, Crystal Arch itself is kind of like a solution. It blocks one, I guess. It's not great. Essential is probably the best. Um,
yeah. Oh, steadfast. Steadfast is a card that I do like. It's just I don't know. It always feels a little too clunky, and then um, yeah. I haven't played with Steadfast in a very long time, but I think the deck that I was probably most intrigued about experimenting with it would be a Lulu, where you spark the Steadfast.
becomes a 2/3.
Yeah, 2/3 alert, so you get some extra value out of its attack.
Hmm.
Being able to um, block and actually do meaningful damage back.
I mean, Rin does the classic root armor
Yep.
dice buff. I haven't seen many Steadfast around. Like maybe it's just people have got opting for Sun Shields over Steadfast instead of playing Charm. Put a bit of time in instead. Maybe we'll see a revival at some point.
Well, yeah, and then there's also if you're in those, in your choice A is probably the Sun Shield, and then right after that it's looking like Beast Tamer. So I think it's probably an issue of there just being several better options than Steadfast.
Yeah.
That things that kind of perform the other that other role. I mean, the unit guard is not to be underestimated, but it's tough because like a thing like a Beast Hammer or a Sun Shield, you can feel pretty good about playing them early in a round, whereas you don't really want to just throw out like a naked unit guard without something to protect.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, I am certainly excited about the new stuff coming out. It's really kind of diminished my desire to really want to play anything in the current meta, apart from the shuffle bus games.
Mm.
But yeah, I am very keen to see where things go, and I am quite interested in what Rowan's Chimera form is going to end up being. As I was looking in, and I
What
hope
do you
it's something.
imagine?
I hope his deck is not really, or it's something spectacular, because it. I don't think his precon is very good without it being kind of a bomb.
Hmm. What kind of thing would you imagine for a Chimera?
Well, realistically, it's not actually going to come into play at the earliest until the top of round 3, I think. And, I mean, that's considering that you're first fiving a discovery, and then you get to play 2 discoveries in round 2, which is already pretty ambitious. So I think it's probably going to be, it might be like gigantic, or just have a very high attack value and a bypass effect, or pretty much be something that it's going to do a lot of damage whenever it attacks, and it's probably not that interactable.
I hope it looks cool.
Yeah, I would hope so as well. But yeah, I think it's probably more like a unit based concept of Oryx Awakened State, where it's, once you get this payoff, you kind of run away with the game. It's just a question of how you've been able to manage your survivability up until that point to really take advantage.
Hmm.
Well,
I got the impression that people haven't been playing much Auric or have been judging Auric to just not be very good. I found him pretty strong when I played him, and his end game ability just seems very powerful. What do you see tends to be his downfall?
he's just so slow to get up and running. I mean, there is fairly limited means of ready spell refresh, and you really want to get his awakened state up, preferably, like, if you can manage it in round 2, that's amazing, but early into round 3 you probably want to have his awakened state hit, and then just investing the dice and the concentration is a bit difficult. Although, out of the new stuff, was it Title Shift? That is a card I looked at, and I'm like, my first thought was that's an amazing card for Auric, because it does everything you want. It gives you another activation of concentration, and it neutralizes your opponent's biggest threat for the turn. For I guess the dice costs don't really matter because Auric can he can run a rainbow and be fine.
Yeah, because we were trying, like, there's initially when he came up, people were concerned about like prison decks and things.
Yeah,
and like harder prison deck would be something like a Law of Fear, which I think is just really strong in the current meta.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure, like, if there are these decks and they play Laws of Fear and they do Essence, Druid Recursion, Gates, whatever, like, why do people think they're too slow? I mean, they obviously are slow because they're slowing the game down because they need time to develop. They seem viable. I don't know why people aren't sort of rating them.
Yeah, I think they can be good. The issue, I think, with Law of Fear is it looks really good when your opponents are only on like units that are like 1 or 2 attack, but if your opponent can kind of see by your dice spread, and your Phoenix Horn selection, that you might be setting up for more of a prison setup, and then they can maybe start like a multi-night open where they're just going tall and just have a lot of innately high attack value units. Law of Fear looks much worse.
Well, that's fair. Like, I would expect nothing less, but like, I don't see a shortage of ways to sort of control night openings.
Yeah.
If anything, I remember people saying, "Oh, night openings are very weak on like kill links and all this stuff. It's just very hard to get night openings to work." It's just like I think there's something I'm missing. Like, people have obviously played something and they've got an idea about it, which I'm not clear on, but yeah, something doesn't add up for me at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's just because we have a relatively small player base. Like, people are focusing on certain decks, and the ones that they don't play just don't get any airtime. So I guess people are just busy with other stuff right now.
I think that there is definitely an element there where a number of the players that are recognized as stronger players or just have higher visibility in the community than others, there are just times where they all seem to want to play like the same thing or very similar decks, and then the community as a whole sort of locks onto this concept that that is what the meta is in its entirety, which I just don't think is accurate.
Yeah, I had a suspicion that like Rhinos would actually be really strong against Hope and against Brennan. But yeah, people just anyway.
Yeah, I have seen a number of builds that they just they're about throwing bodies and aggression on the battlefield, and they they're not first five any kind of removal at all. And they might even have removal in their decks. So there's a decent
Mm.
chance that any units on the other side of the battlefield are going to live just fine. And you know they might end up against decks that can do like some cheeky race things with um, like call to action and shenanigans to
Mm.
have a Rhino swing 2 or 3 times in round one.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I think that um, I would like to see the community as a whole get a little bit bigger, so we have more of an idea of what the quote unquote real meta would look like. But I'm very happy with Ashes overall, and I think the online community is fantastic, and um, you know, I think it's at a good spot, and I am very keen to see where the game goes after the next expansion, and the PVE stuff looks or sounds very intriguing to me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah,
I think is going to be a game changer in a very positive way.
yeah. I don't envy Dijon, and the guys for Ashteki if that's something they want to try and implement on
No,
here.
that's interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That would I'm sure that would be a headache, but that would be amazing if they could pull that off. Um,
I think it'll probably come in time. We'll
yeah.
see what the system is like.
All right. Well, thank you for the game and chatting for a bit. I have a garden to go water.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. But I will definitely see you around, and thanks a lot.
Nice to chat. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for the game. Bye for now.